Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'd like to welcome you to VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA Investor Conference webinar. Today we are hosted by VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA Chairman of the Management Board, Stefan Jugel. Before I give the floor to Mr. Jugel, I'd like to introduce you with the agenda of the webinar. We will start with a short but very interesting video about VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA, and then we will proceed with the company's presentation, after which we will hold a questions and answers session. If you'd like to use the unique opportunity to ask a question directly to the CEO of the company, please use the question box in the webinar admin panel. Meanwhile, let's enjoy the 3-minute-long video introducing VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA.
Learn about the world of glass fiber. From the most modern IT technologies to the most daring discoveries in space. VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA offers the world unique products made of this material. Inputs for construction, aviation, marine and land transport, space industry, and high-technology fields. A broad spectrum of plied and textured yarns, technical and textured fabrics, mesh, chopped strands and felts. The possibilities provided by glass fiber are endless and extremely worthwhile. High mechanical and thermal endurance, resistance against chemical and biological impact, non-flammable, and low hygroscopic properties. It is used in products and materials for manufacturing electrical and heat insulation fabrics, for heat and sound insulation, car manufacturing, construction, manufacturing household appliances, and has countless other significant uses. It is also used in fostering new innovations to improve our quality of life. This is what we offer as one of the leading glass fiber companies in Europe. Owing to our experience spanning more than half a century, a highly qualified and professional team, scientific research and breakthroughs, we have assumed a stable position in this avant-garde sector. Quality, innovations, stability, and accountability, these are the benefits you gain from your cooperation with us. We are an export-oriented manufacturer. Owing to the demands we set for ourselves for ever-increasing quality and more modern technological solutions, VALMIERAS STIKLA ŠēIEDRA has grown into a stable and competitive glass fiber product manufacturer in Europe, with a broad range of markets in North America, Asia, and elsewhere. We provide support in culture, children's and youth sports, urban infrastructure, education. Our core value is people. We improve the quality of life and increase the happiness of millions of people every day. It's more than just glass.
Good morning from my side as well. My name is Stefan Jugel. I'm the CEO, Chairman of the Board of VALMIERAS Glass Group. I prepare a small presentation today about our unaudited consolidated financial statement for 2018. As you can see already in the published report from last Thursday, this webinar is part of our strategy change to be more open to the society and the capital market. For today's webinar, I prepare several points which you can see in this agenda. First of all, I would like to give you a short company overview beside the video you have seen already. Then I want to mark out some highlights which been happened during the year 2018. also want to introduce you about the latest market development of 2018. Then I like to guide you through our financial report of 2018 and give you a short overview of the development of the last 5 years. Then I like to update you on the recent events happened in 2018, beginning 2019, and I would like to give you a future outlook for 2019-2020. In the link down, you can, which you can click, you can find the latest statement. I like to point out at this point that these are unaudited figures. The audit is not finished yet. Our auditor KPMG and Royal US are still working on the audit, so these are not defined figures. Coming to the first point, company overview, we consider ourselves as one of the leading fiberglass companies in the world. This market, fiberglass market, is a special market, and we consider ourselves as a leading company in the fiberglass market, producing fiberglass yarns. Our company is producing fiberglass since 55 years, and since the fall of the Iron Curtain, we established in the last 30 years well-established position in the European market. We are comparing to other big fiberglass producers, integrated company. So we are manufacturing, we are producing fiberglass, we are processing fiberglass, we're processing our fiberglass fabrics, our needle mat, and our target is to offer our customers added value product beside fiberglass as a raw material. In the last 25 years, since privatization of the company, we established a solid financial performance, and we invested in our facilities mainly in Latvia and in the UK and US, 245 million euro. As a company, we're offering, as you have seen already in the video, we're offering a wide range of products across all industries, across the globe. And beside commodities in fiberglass market, we are able to offer special know-how, high added value products like our special silica glass material for high thermal insulation and other markets. In the last 22 years, we developed a well-established brand in the European market with several industries, with several customers, and for us, with a promising growth potential. Coming to the highlights of 2018, as everybody know already, we established a new facility in the US. This was part of our 5 years strategy to increase our capacities, our own production capacities for glass material. We established a new facility in the US, and one of the highlights of 2018 was the opening of this facility. A lot of customers attend to this opening. A lot of banks from Latvia, from Germany, from the US attend to this opening ceremony, and also we had high attendance of ministers and the governor of Georgia. As we already reported in our 2018 annual report, we had some issues with the ramp up of the facility, which I'm going to explain later. Due to this fact, we breached our covenants with our Latvian financing banks, and during the year, mainly during the last quarter of 2018, we had ongoing negotiation with the banks, with our main shareholders, our main German shareholders, and by the end of December 2018, we were able to arrange a settlement with the Latvian banks to waive all our covenants for 2018 and 2019, and which gives us additional space to work on the ramp up and to work on our US facility. Third highlight, in 2018, we were able to attract additional investor for our US facility. We increased the capital in the US. We attract one of our major customers to join us, join the team, to reinforce our team in the US, to give us additional financial headroom and also give us a stronger footprint in our US facility with local investment and with local management. Then in 2018, we sold part of our shares of the US company as well to our main German shareholder, PD Management Industries Technologies, to involve them more in our long-term strategy, to involve them more in this investment, and also to get additional support from them. Then in 2018, we changed our management board to sharpen our focus on production. Our long-term production manager, plant manager in Latvia, Girts Veveris, join our management team as a member of the board. Then in 2018, I took over the position as a chairman of the board, also to sharpen our focus on capital market, on financing. And as I said already, in the long term, we want to be more capital attractive on the capital market, and we also want to become more investor friendly. Then we changed almost all board in the US due to the issues we face during the ramp up. From this September last year, we have a new CEO responsible for the production in the US. Since January this year, 2019, we have a new CEO with a long-term experience in fiberglass and also experience in ramping up new businesses, greenfield projects in fiberglass. And from February, we hire a new turnaround manager, interim turnaround manager as a CEO for the US facility. Then in 2018, we had some change in supervisory board as well. Stefan Daimler, part of the family of the main shareholder, joined our board. And this is the starting of a generation change in the supervisory board and in this committee. Coming to the market outlook, as you can see in this presentation, if you look at the segments we're working in, we have a wide range of products, wide range of customer industries. By far, our strongest market is thermal insulation. Everywhere where heat is involved, everywhere where heat equipment has to be protected from heat, our material is in place. Power plants, generators, car industry. Then our second biggest market is, but decreasing market, is the selling of raw material. Here we're not talking about sand or running quarries. Raw material for us is producing simply fiberglass yarn, fiberglass rovings, and chop strands, and sell this product to competitors or to processing companies which producing similar products. Then our bread and butter business here in Latvia is building and construction. As you have seen in the video, we're producing fiberglass mesh for usage in house insulation. We're producing coated fabrics to use mainly in the US as inside walls. And then we have other interesting business fields like composite, like architecture, where we are seeing a big potential for growing. As we look at the global market, we also see a big potential for growing fiberglass market. Fiberglass is still replacing other materials in all industries. Fiberglass still replacing aluminium, steel in several applications. By far our strongest market by region is Europe, 70%. followed by North America with 11%, and then we have a big footprint in other interesting markets like CIS countries or Asia. If you look at the decrease, I'm going to explain later, or I can explain in the next slide. Let's explain it here. If you look at the decrease in Europe, the only explanation for this is simply lack of material, as we had some issue in the ramp up of the US facility. We haven't been able to purchase enough material from competitors. Our business plan for 2018 was that we are purchasing this material from North America, from our new facility, and we haven't been able to produce this. Mainly the product produced in the US stay in the US. So we had a decrease of 9% in sales in the countries. Even if we had a stable, strong market for our products, even had a much higher demand than we served, and even taking consideration, then a lot of our products are protected in the European market by tariffs, especially our materials. Some of our materials are protected by tariffs from imports from Asia. CIS countries, similar situation. We had a lack of material. We simply had to decide where to deliver our material. Then beside this, CIS countries, we had payment issues due to missing credit insurance. We just deliver material to customers which are credit insurance. So we had a decrease of 28%. Same situation in the Asian market. We had a lack of material for the Asian market. We had to dedicate a lot of our production from Latvia for US market to serve existing contracts, to serve qualification with customers. So we simply hadn't enough material to serve those countries. Coming to North America, same situation. We have had a strong market in the US. We have an ongoing strong demand from our customers. We are, for fiberglass yarns, we are the only producer with a reasonable capacity in North America. And if you look at the figures, 11% decrease of 2%. This haven't been our business plan. Our business plan was to increase our sales in the US dramatically with products from the US, and this 11% are mainly served by products from Latvia to run qualification with the customers for the future higher output. Coming to the next slide, financial performance. As you can see in the figures, in total, we had a decrease of sales, not, as I said already, not to lower demand of our products in all our markets, just due to the fact that we had a lack of material. And in general, I can say the Latvian company and the UK company reached their profit budgets, but nevertheless, the high loss in the US during the ramp up, we haven't been able to set up these losses with the profit in Latvia and the UK. If you look at the EBITDA, we are small positive on consolidated base. We have since long time net profit, negative net profit of 4.9 million, and we also taken to summarize this. We haven't been able to provide a reasonable EBITDA margin, net profit margin, and also unsatisfied EBIT margin. As I said already, we have continuing good demand in all our fields. We have a strong market position in Europe and in the US, and simply the lack of material we used in Latvia and we used in the UK to increase our prices. We increased our prices for our products 3 times last year. As I said already, we have good market position in the US. We are the only producer of significant capacity in North America. And we have been able, especially in our Latvian facility, to organize stable raw material cost, and we hedged our energy cost for the next 2 years, 2019, 2020. With our big range of products and industries we are serving, we provide a quite big risk diversification, so we are quite sure in case of downswing in industrial market, we can cover this with this wide range. We are not depending on car industry, we're not depending on special industries, we are not depending on these changes to electromobility. So, and as I can say, so far we have a strong support of our main shareholders. If you look at the 5 years performance, you can see since 2015 we had a steady increase of performance, and if we hide the US results in 2018, we would have a additional improvement in 2018 as well. If you look at the detailed figures, the net sales of 112 million in 2018, and we provide the EBITDA of 2.9 million, as I said already. Since long time we had a negative EBIT and a negative profit of 4.9 million. This is in general not satisfying for the management board, not for the shareholders. But if we hide the US results, we can prove that in general our business model, beside the issues in the US, has potential, has growth potential, and also has potential to increase our performance. Just to explain a little bit the decrease in sales, I prepared this slide. Here you can see the revenues by companies. You can see the revenues by traded goods by companies. And if you look at a Latvian headquarter facility, you can see that we purchased in 2017 14.6 million euro material from third parties from outside. Mainly this material came from Asia, and our plan for 2018 was to replace all this material, by US operation, as we haven't been able to start our production as we planned. So we didn't purchase this material. So in general, we've been able to purchase 5.1 million semi-finished products from outside, and this is the explanation for the decrease of sales, mainly in Latvia. Explaining the decrease of sales in UK, simple explanation is we didn't have the big ATEX project. ATEX, our product for architecture in 2018. In general, our composite business in the UK, aviation business is stable, and the only upside we had in 2018 was ATEX. Increase in the US facility of sales was an easy approach due to the new capacity we had, mainly. But still we were purchasing material internally, mainly from Latvia, to run the qualification and to serve existing contracts. Upcoming events. As I already mentioned, we changed our strategy. After a long time of not really participation in the capital market, I convinced the main shareholders and the supervisory board to take the first step last year by increasing capital. decided to raise additional capital in this year by a potential following up FPO of company shares, and for sure this will be subject to approval of our internal committees. The purpose of this FPO is to strengthen our capital base of the company, strengthen our balance sheet, and also to cover the capital expenditures for our existing operations and the ramp up in the US. Our plan is to join the main list at Nasdaq Baltic, and our target is to increase liquidity and appeal to the regional market, the community, and also targeting pension funds as future investors in our company. Big topic for us as well, which could be beneficial for our existing shareholders, is to increase liquidity in our free float. And if you want to see details, then please I refer to our announcement, which was done with the invitation to this webinar. Outlook 2019. First of all, I have to mention that the budgets for 2019 are just approved for Latvian facility and the UK. US budget is not approved due to change of management board and supervisory board in the US. Our target is for 2019 to take a big step toward our old strengths, our old financial performance. So we are planning a net sales of 151 million euro for the group in 2019. Our target is to achieve a EBITDA of 23.5 million and a net profit of 4.8 million for the group. Bigger events for 2018, which are reflected in budget. We are planning to repair our furnace number 3 in Latvia, which is our silica furnace. Our target is for 2019 is to finalize the ramp up of the US production. We want to structure our production capacities between the operations to avoid additional shipments to the US, to avoid additional transportation costs. The target is to serve US market with US products produced in the US and concentrate from Latvian production on the European, Asian market. We want to implement in 2019 an existing new glass type, which was developed in the last 4 years, which complete our product range. And with the furnace repair, we want to increase our glass capacities for silica glass. Big target for us is organization change in our Latvian organization. We want to become more international. We want to have an international workforce, and we want to increase our profitability in Latvia and UK to cover planned losses in the US. Outlook for 2020. For 2020, we scheduled one furnace repair, furnace number 2 in Latvia, which is our biggest furnace. Big target for 2020 is to reach profitability level in the US subsidiary as we are used to have in our Latvian facility. We want to increase the cooperation between the companies. At the moment, we are running in the US an individual organization, in the individual management board, and after ramp up, after the organization is settled in the US. We want to improve the cooperation to save administration costs. Big target for 2020, as we are facing problems with hiring staff in Latvia and in the UK. We want to increase the level of automation in both of those companies. And long-term target, as we are in a market here in Latvia, especially with high energy prices, we want to invest in higher added value products. We want to increase profitability of the group in all three companies. And our target for 2020, I've seen this question somewhere already in the questionnaire, is that we are paying for the year 2020 a dividend to our shareholders, which is the purpose of our working and which is the purpose of the stock listed company. Our plan is for 2020 to come back to profitability rates which our shareholders are used to receive from our work. This is my short introduction in 2018 in the outlook of 2020, and I'm happy to receive questions from your side. I'm still, yes. First of all, I would like to ask for your understanding that I can't answer details question about the FPO and also not about detailed figures for 2020, 2021, simply to the fact that we don't have approved bodies, which are also not published. But I will try to answer your question as precise as possible. Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. We have received quite a number of questions, so let's proceed with the Q&A session now. The first question in line: could you please explain why the turnover of the group in 2018 is smaller than in 2017, considering that for almost whole 2018 the company already operated in the US market?
Yes, coming back to this slide, I explained already. We had issues in the US with ramping up, starting the facility. As we reported already in the Q3 and Q4 report, we had issues with suppliers, issue with equipment suppliers, and we had big issues with hiring the right staff in the US, implement organization, implement flowing organization. We have had big problems with attendance in the US, so we haven't been able to utilize the installed equipment. In general, the furnace in the US is running well. We are producing usable glass, but in the downstream processing, we haven't been able to process all the glass to final product. During the year 2018, we've been at a yield pack to melt at approximately 40%. This is increasing now since January, but due to the lack of material and due to the fact, as I explained already, that we didn't purchase material from the market, which haven't been available due to the high demand at the Asian market for Asian glass yarns, we simply had to reduce our business. We couldn't serve all our contracts, all our demand, and that's why we have a decrease in sales in total, even with the additional capacity in the US.
Thank you. Could you please provide a turnover breakdown by groups companies in Latvia, UK and US in comparison to year 2017? You already covered this in the slides, unless there's anything you would like to add.
Same slide. And explain a little bit the decrease in the UK, in Latvia, and this small improvement in the US.
Thank you. As per our understanding, the glass fiber market is dominated by Asian manufacturers. So how do you see competition going forward? And what is your strategy to tackle this competition?
In general, the fiberglass market is dominated by Asian and one big American producer. But these producers are producing mainly raw material and selling the product as a raw material. First of all. Second, in this small fiberglass market, we are serving a special niche, the production of fiberglass yarn. For this material, we have one competitor in Europe and no really big producer as a competitor in the US. The material at the moment is coming mainly from Asia to Europe and to the US. Some of these products already are under tariff in Europe, especially glass roving. And also the Asian products are on the special list for tariffs for importing in the US as well. So at the moment, we don't see a big competition in the European market with Asian products. Mainly, Asia has a big demand for glass yarn, mainly used in electronic products. In Asia, they have high prices in Asia for this product. So at the moment, it's not really attractive to serve European market with these products. In general, as I explained already, our strategy is to produce added value for our customers. Our long-term target is not to sell yarn as a raw material. So we want to mainly produce downstream products like fabrics, like mats, like coated fabrics, and probably in the long run also products with additional value like parts, prefabricated parts.
Thank you. What is the breakdown of revenue and operating profit among three factories, meaning Latvia, UK, and the US, phase 1? And how much incremental revenue or operating profit we can expect from US factory, phase 2, once production is in full swing?
Oh, okay. First of all, the revenue I showed by companies already. Coming to the profits, the unconsolidated profit of the Latvian company at the moment, at this stage of the audit process, is 6.9 million and the EBITDA of 16.9 million. For the UK, the UK facility provided a profit of 1.8 million and the EBITDA of 2.3 million. And the US factory provide a loss of 24 million and a negative EBITDA of 18 million. What we can expect from this for the next year, for this year, 2019, we are planning with a loss of approximately 5 million from the US facility. Our plan is to cover part of these losses with additional profit in Latvia and the UK. And as you have seen in the figures, in 2019, we're not going to return to the profit level of 2017 in 2019. Long term, as I mentioned already, our long-term strategy is to provide with the US facility similar profit as we're having from our Latvian facility. This was the target of the investment, and this was the target of the company to improve in general profitability by having additional site in the US.
Thank you. As per Q4 earnings report, Valmieras Stikla Šķiedra estimates EBITDA and net profit at 23.5 million euro and 4.8 million euro respectively for 2019. So this net profit guidance is for total net profit or net profit attributable to common shareholders. Also, what is the revenue guidance for 2019?
The revenue guidance for 2019 I mentioned already in this slide. So our target is having net profit a little bit less than 5 million for 2019 and at a turnover of 51 million.
Thank you. What would be the impact of repair of Furnace 3 and Furnace 2 at Latvia factory in 2019 and 2020, respectively, on revenue and costs? How much impact it may have on gross margin, as Valmieras Stikla Šķiedra may have to purchase materials from other suppliers at a higher price, such as it happened in 2015?
Okay, these are 2 or 3 questions at the same time. First of all, the furnace repair, furnace number 3 is budgeted in these figures, 2019. So we are losing approximately 1 month's revenues from furnace number 3, but we are planning to increase capacity at the same time for the remaining 3 months of the year. The furnace repair is planned for August. Second, the furnace repair, furnace number 2 is budgeted as well. That means we are losing 1 month's furnace revenues, furnace number 2, which is approximately over of 4 million and profit of, let's say, low one-digit million. We are not planning to purchase material at the same time from third parties. The furnace repair for furnace number 2 is budgeted for end of 2020. Probably we are able to shift this to beginning of 2021. We're expecting that at this time, furnace number 5 from the US facility is fully utilized and we can purchase material at the same time internally from our US facility. If this is not the case, we not planning to purchase any material from third parties with lower profit margin.
Thank you for explaining. Next question. As per our understanding, planned investments in phase 1 and phase 2 of US factory are 20 million euro until December 2019 and 90 million euro until December 2022 respectively. As of June 30, 2018, 87.6 million euro were invested in phase 2 of US factory. So the question is, how much investment is still pending in phase 1 and phase 2 of the US factory?
Okay. I don't know where these figures are coming from, but I can say in general, phase 1 investment was finalized in 2016. So for phase 1, no investments are pending or necessary in future. Phase 2 investment is 98% finalized as well. We have additional demand for investments in the US, approximately 1 million. Then the capital investment is finalized in the US. And future demand for investment in the additional investment in the US are not planned.
Thank you. Till date, Valmieras Stikla Šķiedra has received approximately 4 million euro in grants from US local government bodies, but it's had some conditions. So will Valmieras Stikla Šķiedra be able to meet those conditions of grants, or it may have to return some amount?
Okay. To receive these grants, we had 2 caps in the contract or in the MOU. One are the headcounts, which we are covering 100% already in 2018. Second, total investment of which is also fulfilled. So in general, at the moment, we are fulfilling all conditions of this MOU, and we're not expecting to return any grants.
Thank you. Can we expect dividend payments in 2020?
In 2020 or for 2020? Also, according to our contracts and our budget, we are not planning to pay dividends in 2020 for business year 2019, but our target is to pay dividends in 2021 for business year 2020.
Thank you. As per Q3 2018 results, 9 months other operating income and other operating expenses were 0.4 million euro and minus 16.9 million euro respectively. However, Q4 2018 results show 12 months other operating income and other operating expenses in amounts of minus 12.4 million euro and minus 9.6 million euro. Can you please explain how the company has reclassified its other operating income and other operating expenses in Q4 2018?
Okay, as I received this question just today, I haven't been able to prepare detailed figures, but I can say in general, we're preparing now for the first time IFRS audited report for the US, and we had to reclassify first of all the grants from other income to deferred tax, because most of these grants we're receiving are tax grants. Second big change in other operating expenses are the cost for the precious metal lease, which we reclassify from other operating expenses to depreciation. These are the main changes, and we are going to explain this in our next publishing of the 2018 figures.
Thank you. After new issue of equity capital, can we expect reduction in borrowings, or the entire money will be spent to meet capex requirements of the US factory?
Good. First of all, but all of those has to be approved by supervisory board and probably by a shareholder meeting. Our first target is to 100% output of the US factory, because for us it's the quickest win and also the quickest possibility to increase profitability of the company. Partly we are going to reduce our borrowings, which we took additional to start up the production, and partly we want to use this money to increase our capacity for special products for the Latvian facility.
Thank you. What are your average working capital and capital expenditure requirements 2019 onwards?
So we are planning, as I said already, we don't have approved budgets for 2020, 2021, but we are planning with a stable working capital for the upcoming years. We don't plan major investments beside these 2 furnace repairs for 2019, 2020, 2021. We're not planning big investments in the US anymore till we have utilized the complete potential of this factory, and we also have just small capex for the next 3 years for the UK, mainly improving our environmental protection system in the UK.
Thank you. What kind of revenue growth and operating margin Valmieras Stikla ŠēIEDRA is expecting during next 5 years?
I said already that we want to come back to our profitability we had. So after our original business plan was to increase our revenues with the US facility dramatically, and we are expecting to come back to our EBITDA and net profit level in 2020, 2021.
Thank you. In the past, investors have experienced that annual targets were not fulfilled. Outlook for 2019 seems promising, but what makes management confident to achieve a solid performance in 2019?
First of all, we are monitoring our results monthly base. We are We are updating our business plans ongoing. Actually, we achieved our targets as we planned in the UK and in Latvia for the last 3 years. Our only headache at the moment is the US facility. For this, we have now intensive care process in place. We are making regular supervisory board and board meetings. We're having weekly conference calls. We are supporting US facility with additional staff from Latvia to achieve our production targets as soon as possible.
Thank you. What are the key metrics to monitor the production and quality performance in the US plant?
In general, we have similar system as we have in Latvia, and as similar as is working for many years in Latvia. So we're monitoring on daily base output by production step, by shift, by individual teams. We're monitoring this. We are using software to monitor this. Sure, there's always space for improvement, especially in quality control and quality measurements, and we're working on this as well to improve the system. But in general, we have a established system in Latvia which running since many years, and we are going to roll out this for the US facility as well.
Thank you. Do you consider to list shares on other exchanges except Nasdaq Baltics?
Other than Nasdaq Baltics does not make sense unless the company is much larger. So we are focusing on Nasdaq Baltics.
Thank you. US plant today is not working in full capacity. What capacity in percentages US plant operates in March?
As we're having today, 7th of March, I can't answer this in details. As if I look at the figures of February, we are approximately at 50% of the installed capacity. We haven't installed all the bushing positions in the furnace so far. If you look at the plant capacity, we are running approximately at 40%.
Thank you. And currently the last question that we have here from audience: how are you going to fight against lack of professional workforce in Latvia? How many potential additional workforce do you need for 2019 and 2020?
In general, we are looking at this since many years. We improve our HR team since many years. We improve our focus and on satisfaction of workforce since many years. If you're not able to fill all positions in Latvia, we have to think about import of workforce.
Thank you. At this point, all questions are answered, so I think we're ready to wrap this up. As always, the recording of the webinar will be available on Nasdaq Baltic YouTube channel and also in company's announcements later today. Mr. Jugel, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the answers given. Participants, thank you for your participation and thank you for the interesting questions you asked today.
Good. Thank you also from my side to have the possibility to present these figures for you. Thank you for your interest in our company and in interest of future outlook. I can invite everybody either to get in contact with me or with our investor relation team to ask additional questions or probably visit us in Valmiera. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.